I would like to protest the word chasm. That is a bullshit spelling for chasm. We should just change it. There are things in the English language I'm willing to put up with, but chasm is not one of them.
Like, it sounds like it should have a U between the S and the M, too.
Yeah, that word is just so wrong. There's a lot going on. It is a short word. And it's got, like, multiple things wrong with it. Very disappointed in you, English language.
English language.
If you want a language with consistent rules, you should go for like French or something.
I feel like whoever invented the English language is probably drunk, and I'm probably not wrong about that. That's probably a thing.
Some guys got drunk and invented a new language.
Like,
every language.
I'm gonna start with the premise of guy who invented the English language. Jonathan English is just sitting around. You know, I don't think I'll system of thought in the direction. And everybody's like, I'm a man. And he's like, suck my dick.
I like that they're not speaking Latin. They're just speaking baby language.
Fucking sim.
Well, okay, strictly speaking, English evolved from languages spoken by Germanic tribes.
Right, and it was only after
Romans.
You guys, the Latin thing is my game.
Shit. This is common knowledge, Camster. You can't weigh in on this.
It was only after the Norman conquest that French started, and by extension Latin began to sort of influence.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you had the bright.
But can we go back to the idea that English was invented by one guy in a day? And then he just like got people to speak it like. And then he like went around and like, hey, you want to try out this new language I worked out? They're like, oh, all right.
And he will only speak in this language, so everybody else has to learn it to fucking understand what he's saying.
I like the idea that this Johnny English guy, created the English language to A, get drunk, and B, get laid.
No, he just has a job like that. Like he works at the DMV or something, like the medieval DMV.
He's so bored.
And everybody's like, I need a license. Can you just give me an update to my renewal of my license? And he's like,
I need a chariot
I didn't
license.
understand you. You weren't speaking English. He's like, I need this fucking license. I'm a trucker. Fuck.
Maybe you should go to English classes that I have $50 a week after hours.
He's like a new age guru.
You guys, Johnny English actually was like a Rowan Atkinson spy spoof character.
Yes.
That's what makes it better.
That's terrible.
We should definitely go with something that isn't involved in the pop culture at all and say Jake English. The great thing about a name like Jake English is that if you type that in a Google image search, you won't find a bunch of yaoi art, and instead you'll find a visual pictorial history of the development of the English
Mumbles
language.
is already looking up the Jake English yaoi art.
Listen, I got some stuff
Okay, I'm
to
looking
do,
at these pictures,
so
and is Jake English a man or a woman? Because I see lots of both.
I guess I'll talk to you guys
Jake,
later.
okay, hang on.
Guys, we gotta do spoiler warning.
I like this part of the game where they're at the menu. I like this part where there's a menu and you click on stuff and Laura's face isn't made out of triangles that are trying to stab the camera.
That's going.
Alright, let's do this.
This guy is some kind of Homestuck motherfucker.
Yes, he is, but he's often shipped with the male, his male counterpart, Dirk Strider.
Look, they have babies together.
Yeah, try Jake Dirk.
Why would I do this? This is like, oh, you think that's bad? Well, try putting it in your eye. Oh, alright, if you say so.
Cutscene.
The Sun Queens.
Okay. Here we go.
Like,
Alright, now it's
this
right.
is gonna be the last episode, so I might as well just put that whole thing in the beginning.
I approve.
That saves me the trouble of summarizing it, which I fully intended to do.
Wait a minute. Many have given up their souls.
So this is what we missed last time because Lara was busy decomposing on camera.
In the decaying body.
Vessels. It's not transferring power.
Half-Life.
It's transferring a soul.
Oh wait, I thought we figured this out before.
And there's 3
I know.
circuits. Half-Life 3.
First and last.
No.
Oh god.
Oh my god, Tomb Raider was Half-Life 3 all along!
Well, you're not getting her.
You know what's depressing? They're probably not making Half-Life 3 right now.
They're not, according to the voice actor thing.
Yeah, and I would be inclined to believe that.
The voice actor for Freeman.
Here, nothing.
Yeah.
So I'd like to. I don't talk about this much, but I'm the voice actor for Gordon Freeman.
They have you go in.
Can't believe it because I don't.
They have you go in and
like
sit. You sit in a booth for hours and say nothing, and they were like, "Can we do that take again, Mr. Veal? We heard you. I think you sniffled. You sniffled during the take. Can you?" And then they do it again. They're like, "Okay, that was good, but we want more intensity out of you. Can we have more intensity?"
So this is the journal from the Hoshi. Yeah, Hoshi. That's totally an ancient Japanese name. Who discovered what was up with Himiko, and she was going to be the next vessel, but while the soul transferring process was going on, she like committed suicide somehow.
Oh, she.
I guess they let her on there with the dagger. Like, what? She's probably not going to do anything with that.
So, in mid-transfer, while Himiko was moving into the young body, the young body killed itself, and now Himiko is stuck.
Like, you're
but man, if she could get a hold
all of your files on a USB drive, and then you yank the USB drive out without properly, like, doing the remove hardware safely procedure in Windows.
I'm pretty sure this is the plot of both Mummy movies.
So Himiko is right now waiting for
yeah.
Microsoft technical support, and that's what she's been doing for these thousands of years.
No wonder she's so pissed off!
I know.
She's staring at a Microsoft is checking for a solution to the problem bar that won't go away.
Did you try restarting your computer?
The system to look for a solution to your problem is no longer working. Would you like to look for a solution to this problem?
So you guys want to hear some weird shit? We were trying to solve a Wi-Fi issue yesterday, and we did the Microsoft diagnostic, and it worked.
No.
We used the baked-in, we will analyze this thing, and then just say, have you tried connecting to the internet for other solutions? But it actually managed to figure it out, somehow.
No.
Did you push it as a joke? Like, yeah, sure, Windows. You go ahead and you figure that out, you adorable thing.
Wait.
I'll go and Google
you didn't,
some...
like, sell your soul at some point to Microsoft or anything sketchy like that?
Honestly, I would say it's not unlikely that it just fixed itself while we happen to be running the diagnostic.
Ziggurat? This is... The Japanese don't have ziggurats. That's totally different.
I have to say, this game is more entertaining with Josh, like, knowing shit that I don't know about the Japanese. I
was like, oh, ziggurat. Okay, that makes sense.
Totally.
That's a name for
Mesopotamian temple structure.
No, it's
I'm
a
gonna
name
be really
for
pissed
old
off if I forgot what the actual name for it was,
if
and I'm
you're
actually confusing it.
Josh, if you're expecting geographical, archaeological consistency in a pulp game, I guess you're out of luck.
You could
Sam,
maybe.
Sam, can you do anything besides stand there being very, very still and doing nothing? I mean, he's got fire behind him. He's got you in his face with a bow, and he's got to hold a hostage.
Bow, exactly.
He is boned.
What about like a badass duct tape assault rifle?
I know. It's like, screw you, game.
He doesn't even look like he's holding her that hard.
That cutscene was extremely unclear, by the way, because it looked like they got abducted by aliens or something.
Yeah.
Like lightning struck and they disappeared, but no.
He's got a hostage. Where did he go? Did he jump up there with her? What? Were they pulverized by a meteor?
Out of there.
I know.
Oh man. So Jabbar is making a board game where you play wizards who are actually stage magicians by day, or something.
Oh my god!
I don't know. I don't pay attention to the things he says. But he was talking about like real world magicians he wanted analogs of, and I'm like, well, do you have Chris Angel? And he's like, who's Chris Angel? I'm like, well, he's the worst. And then I sent him a bunch of videos, and he's like, he was so angry he couldn't see straight for like a month.
Yeah.
If like magicians were Dragon Ball Z, he would be Mr. Satan or whatever.
Yes. So wait, so who would be Krillin?
I was just about to say, like, if they made a movie where stage magicians were cool or something, like, he would be played by Steve Buscemi. And then I realized there was a Chris Angel character in a movie about magicians, and Steve Buscemi didn't play him.
Yep.
So I'm wrong. I am objectively wrong about that.
There's another magician game where he's played by the guy who did Facebook, and he does a really good job of looking like a douchebag.
He's played by the guy that did Facebook?
No, the guy who did the movie... No, assholes. The guy who did the movie Facebook, Jesse Eisenberg or whatever. Jesus Christ.
Uh-oh. Jesse The Danger? Oh, wait, no.
Eisenberg, I don't know. Alright.
Wasn't the family that were convicted of spying against the Americas or whatever?
Alright.
No. Those were the...
Lara, watch out!
That was Rosencrantz.
No, he's the general who became a U.S. president.
Get to the boat. If I'm not back.
Okay, wait, so they're not dead?
So that's Garfield, right?
So how are Reyes not, like, they failed at stopping them but then left? Did we tell them to leave?
Oh, whoops.
Was he the thing the Titanic
That was the wrong thing to do. I can't imagine why jumping straight out into a canyon would have killed me.
Chasm. I don't know. It's a chasm.
So this is sort of the platforming answer to the giant combat section we did last episode, where it's like this is the last hurrah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
I liked it. No, well, I mean, this is where the game was at its strongest. It's really good platforming mechanics. I know we've covered this already, but I really like this platforming. And since I don't get to play Uncharted, this was my only chance at doing that kind of platforming. I thought it really worked.
I think the problem is I think the game's platforming was at its best when it was either part of combat or integrated with exploration. And here it's that sort of Uncharted, go exactly where we have scripted for you to go platforming, and that's okay, it works, but it's not as interesting.
So that was not the place to go either.
Was that
my god.
No, not even close, never mind. I was about to say, was that your first death in this week? But no.
No.
The lighting's kinda cool.
Yeah.
But the game's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, let's take the vessel. Let's take it.
Yeah, let's cut in line ahead of Sam, and then she'll be like, "Oh,
that'd be hella funny."
I thought that's what was gonna happen this whole time. Like, I was gonna get up there, and Himiko was gonna be like, "No, fucking, this is the wrong person. You brought me the wrong person," and like kill him, and then we'd have like some kind of weird mental battle, and then you'd kill the Dark Ones, or something like that. And I'm talking about the wrong game now.
Still, that shows a more narrative focus than this game has ever seemed interested in. Like, that would require thinking about your plot and having a twist that you build up and hide.
Yeah.
And they don't do that in this game at all. They
Yeah,
don't
as
even
we've
pretend.
mentioned, there isn't. This game is completely predictable. There is no twist whatsoever.
This game
Not
is just like
terrible, though.
The twist is
No,
that there
but-
isn't a twist.
I'm
but it
okay
is
with
like
it.
you just kind of move from one trope to the next. It's like, okay, what trope will get us through this? What stock character do we need to fill this role?
Well-
So
I was just gonna say, like, you could make it a mystery without having a twist, if that makes sense. Like, I don't fully understand what's going on.
Sure.
As I progress in the game, I learn more. But this game doesn't, like, attempt that at all. Like, I knew what
Right.
was going on 20 minutes in.
that's right. Don't move, Sam. Even though you could just, stand
Yes,
up and
that's it.
walk away.
English. That's a language Himiko is certain to understand.
You know, I don't really understand why Himiko's so intent on taking over fucking human bodies anyway. I mean, she's immortal. Why take mortal form for stuff? Like
Oh,
the
no,
spirit
it
world
blew your
could be
arrow
lame,
away.
or
Because
If
then
it
you
blew your
can
arrow-
be a pretty
Cable.
princess. Because then you can wear pretty dresses and shit, okay?
She has a
Okay.
good point here.
Why in the flaming hell was she using the... It's like, okay, what's the most inappropriate weapon? Oh, this bow that I always used to screw up in every cutscene. I'll try this and fire into the wind. Oh, that didn't work well. I probably don't have anything else that would work in this context, so I give up. Just, oh, that stupid... It made me resent the bow, and instead of like, this bow is cool, it's like, this bow is the thing that I use to screw myself in every cutscene.
Yeah, the bow is like sort of the loser friend that you have after you graduate
Yeah.
college, that you're hanging out with him, and your girlfriend's like, hey, honey, if you go up to San Francisco, they got some really good job openings down there. You can maybe start making some real money. And you're like, oh yeah, oh no, wait, but if I go up, who's going to pick up Larry from the bus stop after he gets all of his drugs from the pot dealer down the street?
So, I know that we like to, reference Rutskarn as the guy who does puns, but I'm a bigger fan of Rutskarn as a guy who does tortured metaphors.
But
See, that has also been my specialty since day one. No one else has
But
noticed.
the
Thank you.
bow is indeed your loser friend.
yeah.
It wants to be useful so bad, and in every cutscene, it is the thing that screws everything up. Is you should not be using this stupid weapon in this context.
It's holding you back. The fact that you have to worry about its effectiveness and you're so fixated on it.
It's your
Wait a
Obi-Wan
minute.
Kenobi.
Oh, these guys can hold on just fine.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Kaboom!
So I can't. Is Himiko screaming or is Sam screaming?
It's
That was...
Why is
Oh, and then there's Matthias. He's like, pull her forth, and it feels like he's coaching her. Like, you can do it, come on!
Come on, push!
Rutskarn did bring up a good point earlier in that why exactly are we trying to possess Himiko into you know who, Sam? Like,
That's Josh, actually.
oh, is that John? Still, the point stands. I don't understand the motivation of our villains. I understand why Matthias wants to do it because he wants to get off the island, and I think it has something to do with as soon as she's in her mortal form, she can't do the evil powers and he can leave the island, but are we convincing
Or
her
I
to
was under the
leave?
impression that like she would give him favor for doing that, maybe let him leave. Or
Who's gonna trust a ghost,
sort of
though?
undead general.
Who here would ever fucking trust a ghost? I wouldn't.
Mumbles, have
It's
you
an-
ever
it's
met
an
Casper?
Ghost
It's-
racist.
Damn straight. I have never met one ghost who has been straight about shit with me.
What about
They're all
Slimer?
like...
None.
You know, Slimer's like
Slimer's
that
crime.
asshole friend you had, like, after college who's holding you back. Where, like, you want to move forward with your life, but... I don't,
Why are the
funny
Guardians
how
fighting Matthias's dudes anyway?
It's funny how, like, every part of my brain right now is going, this ritual shouldn't be taking so long. This is totally unrealistic.
I know,
Like,
me too. I'm
How
thinking the
fucking
same
long
thing.
should this take? I don't know.
How much do I know about
What-
rituals?
What's
I don't
what's your
fucking
sort of your soul bandwidth on that old Windows 3.1 machine you got?
Like, I feel like it's straining my credibility that the supernatural ritual is taking longer than
Why am I
other
walking?
fake
What is this?
supernatural rituals in video games.
Most rituals don't take this long, but maybe there's more setup in other rituals, and this one didn't take a lot of setup.
Plus, this one does shit, unlike every other ritual in written history. So, I mean,
Yeah.
there's that too.
And this is what's gonna have to pass for our boss fight. Like it feels like at every point they wanted to have a epic conclusion to their game, and they weren't sure how to do it. So they big fight sequence, big platforming sequence, this guy to fight, and then a quick time event, and that's our big climax.
Yeah.
Okay, Laura, take those men's example to heart. Whatever you do, shoot his center mass.
And really, I like those in descending order. It's like, oh, I love this climbing, this exciting climb in the bad
He
weather
just
with the crumbling
teleported.
scenery.
What kind of bullshit is that?
This
And
is just
then-
an Arkham fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have
Actually-
this bullshit Arkham fight, and then they end it with a quick time event, which is just, they could have just ended it with a picture of them giving us the finger.
Josh, that was
I'm
not
having
a-
flashbacks to fucking
Okay, am I the only person
Banshees
who gets?
in Mass Effect.
Am I the only person who rolls his eyes every time in a video game or a movie or a TV show or on anything? Some big bruiser reaches over, grabs a guy, and then throws him like 5 feet away.
Yes.
Like that is
They're like
literally
crushing
the
their neck.
yeah. Besides putting them down, and giving them a gentle pat on the head and a kiss, that is the least effective thing you can do if you physically
Especially
pick
there's
somebody up
like
off the ground.
2 feet of snow on the ground here.
I'm sick
That's
of
like
these kind
something
of
your
fights.
dad does
in
when he's
general.
roughhousing with you.
Maybe it's just too much Arkham games because
What?
fucking
My
in the first
camera
game-
moved right. What kind of bullshit is that?
I don't know, but it was hilarious.
Well, Arkham was a big influence on this, reading about the making of this game. Like, every time they were like, okay, are we hitting that high mark of Arkham? Are we making a game as good as Arkham?
Well, I mean, Arkham was a good game.
It
But
was.
like,
Okay,
these boss
straight up.
battles are just.
Straight up,
And-
when
yeah.
is there going to be a good Arkham horror video game? Just throwing that out.
Shut up.
But here it is, they're
great idea
trying
for
to
a
make they're trying to make a game as good as Arkham, so they're copying the worst part
Right.
of Arkham, which is the boss fight.
Without realizing. So,
Okay, I feel
wait,
like Josh hasn't
we
made
don't
any progress in this fight, but it's sending men at you like it's the second wave.
It
Yeah.
is, because I did do that. Like one, that guy was freaking out with some. What was that physics object doing there?
We don't actually get to fight the
Okay.
sun goddess. Is that a thing?
No, we don't.
No, we're not gonna fight her.
Not at all.
Nope.
Play the game?
Do you not remember how this?
I didn't
goes?
beat it. So I just assumed that you would get a sweet fight with
Spoiler.
a lady.
Yeah.
That's gay.
Nice save,
Have you been
Bubble.
hanging out with the 12-year-old boys again?
I corrected myself. Okay.
That was a good
did.
save. No, nobody will
I mean-
catch it.
Yeah, the thing is, that's almost all language is an example of I heard somebody say
Oh,
this in
Jesus.
this situation, so I'm going to say this in this situation.
Oh, don't
as
tell
long
me,
as you
Doug. Oh, no.
acknowledge as long as you acknowledge that it's bad, it's not bad. As long as you acknowledge and correct it.
I used to be
I
a lot
escaped.
worse. You think my swearing's bad now? You should have seen me fucking 2 years ago. That was really cool.
Is this? Are we still in the second wave? Thankfully, hopefully, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
no,
sending
third wave,
mooks at
actually,
you.
But yes. What am I? Is there like, am
You're
I not
on the
shooting
top
his
of the
back
mountain.
anymore?
No, you are, but you have to wait for him to throw the thing to the ground. He has to try to hit you, get stuck like in video games, and then you shoot him in the butt.
Yeah.
Punch his butt.
Punch his butt.
But I did that.
Then what are you gonna do?
You know,
I'm
if this
gonna
guy
punch
swung
his butt
like-
again.
Let me stand up.
if this guy would swing just like a foot lower, what the fuck would you do?
Jump.
Mash F. Oh, okay.
Right in the
Now,
face.
now it's
Oh,
Walking Dead.
Hey, let me pick your brain.
Oh.
Damn it!
I approve.
Man.
I got some.
If only there was a way
shells
you
off
could
that
deliver
kid.
that kind of force to his skull without having to get close and use the pickaxe. Like if you had a way to like from a distance. I don't know what you'd use.
Like project little pickaxes long range.
Yeah. Yeah, something
man.
like that.
So here's the thing where we finally get Lara Croft Tomb Raider as we know her. Like
Right.
the big transformation.
Oh no, he shot my bow. What am I gonna do? Maybe what?
that's-
We
that's
might
sort
not
of
forget how to shoot one.
It's actually kind of symbolic because she's about to get the double pistols thing that Lara Croft is known for, and she sort of is like, now she's Lara Croft for real. But first we have to do a quick time event that makes no sense.
Man, I
Yeah.
want to fight the weird goddess chick. This is stupid.
I like how he backed way, way up. Gave us a chance to get both guns.
Shot him in the head like 6 times, but he can still scream. I can't tell if the shaders they
Long,
use here are really
sharp
freaking weird, or
death
if I'm like,
screen.
if we're having graphics problems, or here's the frame rate dying. No, okay, we're okay. What? You stabbed her with the torch. I forgot about that. Okay, sure. The torch was her weakness, of course.
I'm just glad she didn't try to use the bow again. That's all. I'm just grateful she didn't like. Wait, I have to find
She's
my
like
bow.
trying to choke her with the bow or something.
Yes, or like just poking her with an arrow over and over.
I thought like we were gonna get this and then it was gonna fake out and like she would be in control and you had to save Sam from
Yeah.
her or something, but no.
You're safe now.
Oh, now here's where the game really pissed me off. This is like this thing. If I hadn't just beaten the game, I would have rage quit.
I made you
This
promise.
Sam, after hiking up the damn mountain with him and doing nothing to save her own stupid, useless ass, passes out, and you somehow carry her dumb ass down the mountain. I wanted to drag her over to the edge and throw her after Matthias. I just
Without
hated
even
her
a nice
guts.
kiss. Not
Yeah,
one
just-
kiss for
you-
saving
you-
her.
You drag her down the mountain by the foot, like dragging in the snow.
Oh my god.
Yes. Oh, you don't want to what? Because, like, remember the climbing you had to do to get up there? Somehow you carry her stupid ass all the way down from there. Which, I don't even know how you
Oh, there's
got
a path.
down.
There's Lara!
There wasn't a path going up.
It's like
Remember all the
Skyrim,
climbing
there's
we
a
had to
path
do?
behind the dungeon. It's like Skyrim, there's a
Oh,
path behind
yeah.
the dungeon.
You know, I did spend a lot of time climbing in Skyrim too, but instead of using
And then-
pickaxes and like Uncharted jumps, I mostly just hummed
Yeah.
rocks until I got a shortcut.
And then this, and then you get down there, and then stupid Sam is like,
What happened up there?
I like that
Is-
they meet you at the beach. Like, not at the river.
Yeah,
You're at the beach.
they're like just hanging out like whatever.
Out of here.
Maybe we'll leave now. Oh look, Lara came back.
Lara says, with a distinctly desultory voice, I think she's gonna be okay. And everybody's like, oh, thank God Sam is okay. Sam is such a precious
naive.
flower. It's been so hard for her walking around and not fighting back much. Shh, 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 shh. It's okay, Sam. And Lara's like,
He was right about
see,
some.
you know what a man's brain looks like? And they're like, wait, I think Sam might be waking up. No, false alarm. I'm gonna go make her some
Sing her
cocoa.
like a
Stories, but the
No one's like,
lines
what about
and
Whitman, or
arms
what
is
direction should we
fragile
go, or
and
what are we gonna do? It's just sort of like,
I need to
well,
find
that's
answers.
taken care of. Let's drive off into the sunset.
And
Oh, I hated Sam so bad. I just resent her. No, I do like this, moving past Sam, finally. I do like this kind of setup they left themselves for the next game. Because despite my raging, I really liked this game. I thought it was fun, and now they've got a little hook for the next one. Like, I am really looking forward to the next game, and I'm hoping that we don't have to rescue Sam in it.
Or use the bow and arrow.
That island, judging from those wounds and that look in your eyes.
I like the bow and arrow. You guys
Again, we're on an American-ish ship.
We'll be home soon.
Like off the Sea of Japan, you know.
Everybody speaks English. You gotta speak English if you want your team.
And everybody's white.
I'm not going home.
Even the guys we were shooting were mostly white, which is kind of weird.
They were all Russians, because those guys are so common here too.
Well, that's what's confusing. I mean, I know they explained it a little bit by saying the Russians came there, but like all of them were Russian.
Yeah.
Or the vast majority.
You're saying Vladimir was Russian?
And
No, he was
Alexei
Mexican.
and
Huh.
Neat.
So there it is. We hope you enjoyed playing Tomb Raider. Well, I did, right up until you ruined it.
That is
nerds.
an unusually polite sign-off.
It's sweet.
No, it's sweet.
Look at these cuties. Look at these cuties.
Yeah,
who
I
made
like
the
that they
game.
put the photos of the team in the credit.
I like
I
when
love
you
that.
did that too.
I took-
SX.
I love all games. That'll make me watch the credits as if there's pictures, because just names means nothing to me. You know, I'm not going to recognize these names from game to game. It's like, I might see a name more than once, but it's like months between them, so I'm not going to recognize them. But pictures of the people that made the game, I love that. Like, I really do. And then you see, wow, all these people work so hard to make this. And you realize,
We have just
holy
sold
cow!
all of them.
And holy cow, does it take a crap load of people to make a video game these days? Like, really?
There's something kind of Reigns of Castamere about how this song started, which I don't know if it was quite as triumphant as they wanted.
This isn't the triumphant version. There is a more triumphant version. I do love the soundtrack.
It'll play
I bought-
later, yeah.
This is like the subdued ambient version, and this is the creepy music. Steve Austin, the wrestler, was a lead gameplay engineer?
I know! I can just imagine.
Look at all these dorks.
I like that somebody has a Tomb Raider shirt before the game's out.
Yeah, there were a lot
this
of
is a new
Tomb Raider
franchise.
shirts.
Where did they get Tomb Raider shirt?
It's with the new logo, I mean.
Yeah, it
What
is.
is even
It's-
Tomb Raider?
I want to
Oh,
I'm
that's
just-
what it is! I thought it was
yeah,
Tom
Me too.
Braider. I thought that was the name of the protagonist.
Yeah,
I am
Larry Kraft
disappointed
in
none-
Tom Braider.
I am disappointed none of these guys is named Tom Braider. They should put a joke Tom Braider in, you know, Chief Coffee Engineer or something in the credits.
That guy, Tom Braider, sounds like a quest giver in a Borderlands game.
That guy's name's Django.
Okay, Django Low. Django Low is an
Django!
awesome name. Just the whole name, Django Low. Like, that just is a fun name to say.
Yeah.
Jangalo. It sounds like
Got a little bit-
AD&D monster that like got cut
Jingle
from every
jangle,
subsequent edition.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Oh.
something
enjoyed
Strong
this
Bad would call someone.
I very much
Oh,
enjoyed this
fuck
game.
you.
I think it was...
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, despite almost all of our complaints were about cutscenes and about the presentation of it. The core gameplay, I think, was solid.
That, and I think maybe what could have been even better. Like, what's there is fantastic, but it also shows a lot of potential to be
Right.
even more.
You can definitely see, like, the way this game was going to be before they brought on some more writers. Probably Rihanna Pratchett was responsible for a lot of the fixing that went on, but I can't say because I didn't actually make the game. But like, you can see like some of the sort of like bad-ish writing that was probably going to happen. And then at some point someone came in and said, no, let's do this properly.
The "you were an idiot" in cutscene problem. The crutch of suddenly you stop knowing how to fight in cutscenes. There was a lot of that. And I do wonder, where did that crop up? Was that because the story was written late? You know, they kind of made their set pieces and chained them together in the story?
They did a rewrite at some point. Because I remember Rihanna Pratchett saying something about how, like, there were cutscenes that were already animated and they couldn't change them, so she had to just write to fit that cutscene.
Oh yeah, and the reason for that, I was giving Thief, the Thief reboot, a hard time for doing full performance capture, which is where you wear the motion capture suit plus it has a camera. It's that plus there's a camera attached to it pointed at your face with a microphone, so you act the whole scene out.
Oh, and right, like they did with Crisis 3.
Yeah, they did that here.
Because they had to carry across the gripping Crisis 3 narrative and push forward the world-beloved canon.
I know!
Like, what the hell? All you need is an icon. There are dudes to shoot this direction. That's all we need from you, Crisis. Please. But in this game, full... Go ahead.
No, I'll go ahead. I don't have anything to say.
But the full performance capture, again, stopped them from iterating over a story that probably needed a little bit more work. I was watching some of the movies, I'll see if I can find them on YouTube, about the making of this game. And it was just scary how time-consuming it is to get your actors and actresses and props in this giant, expensive room and have them enact a scene. It's like, wow, this is a really slow way to go about things.
Unless you have something well written ahead of time. I think The Last of Us is a pretty good example of that.
You can't, I guess what I was saying is you can't iterate. It's expensive to iterate doing that. You can't, like, okay, this scene doesn't work, let's try it this way. It's like, well, we have to do that's like shooting a movie twice. You can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, like getting to post-production and realizing you want to throw out half the script.
Yeah, you can't do that. And so it lowers your ability to iterate. And
I think with this game... Go ahead, Mumbles.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and I think with this game, they were trying so hard to catch up systemically from where Tomb Raider was, that they didn't have time to sit down and write an awesome story because they had so much gameplay prototyping. I mean, if you read that little novella they saw on Steam about, all the different ideas they had before, they went through like 4 or 5 prototypes about figuring out what this game even was about or what it was. And
some of them sounded interesting. Like, some of them were interesting, but they would have been very different games.
And it's not even like this game's story is like total shit either. It's not.
No, it's not. It's frustrating.
Fantastic. It's not Last of Us or Walking Dead or
It's just straightforward.
Right.
It's straightforward, and it's a story that you've probably heard before, told in a Tomb Raider setting. But it works.
It does what it needs to do.
I do think the beginning third is still my favorite part of the game, just because actually I think it feels like Lara has an arc, and then the second 2/3 is just sort of shooting dudes. But it's still fun shooting dudes. I mean, it's functional as a game. It does everything it needs to do.
And when you're rebooting a franchise like this, choosing between the two, I think they made the right choice. Getting the gameplay right is way more important than getting the story right on this first. Next time they're going to have this solid core of gameplay and all this technology under it, if they don't throw it away and start over.
Yeah,
and
if
this time
Square Enix doesn't fold because it was expecting this thing to sell like 10 million copies or something.
Oh, so terrible. Yeah, if they make another one, they can use this good base and then spend a little more time on tone and thematic elements.
The current rumor is they're... Go ahead, Mom.
Sorry, I was just going to say that's what they did with the Arkham games. The first Arkham game, I'd say the overarching story was just complete shit. But in Arkham City, the overarching story was kind of interesting because it was more about Joker's relationship with Batman, whereas the first one was like Titan, you know? And I think that it's kind of the same thing that'll probably happen with this if they make another game.
I hope they do. It would be really sad to see this after it comes out with so much potential to see it not make another one, because the next one should be a lot cheaper and faster to make now they've got all the tools. What were you saying about the rumor, Chris?
The current thing is apparently they've got a Tomb Raider sequel that is in development, and they're having Gail Simone write a comic that'll sort of transition between the first and second games. So that'll be neat.
I have mixed feelings about Gail Simone, but that's...
Yeah. For those people who aren't comic experts like, you and me, Mumbles, why don't you explain to people who Gail Simmons is, so that they all know?
She's just the Batgirl, the new 52 Batgirl series. That's the best.
Right, that's what I was gonna say.
That's the most well-known, I think, that she's done recently. And she's pretty good, but she can get a little carried away with herself sometimes. So she's good, and I'm glad that she's doing it. But, she's not my favorite.
That's the thing. That's kind of endemic to comic authors, though, like getting really full of themselves.
It's not even like getting full, it's just like getting carried away. Like she gets carried away with Barbara's inner monologue. She gets carried away with stuff.
Berlin, and Cohen Preschel. That family had 3 babies during the making of this game. Unless they had triplets, this game was in development for a really long time. Sorry for interrupting, Mumbles.
No, I mean, that's pretty much...
Well, that was a good game. That's what, 3 or 4 in a row for us that we've really liked.
We need to play something that's really horrible.
I mean, we had Mass Effect 3 in there.
Oh, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about Mass Effect 3.
Yeah. Okay, so tune in for the next season of Spoiler Warning, which, dramatic reveal, drum roll please, will be Jurassic Park, Telltale's best adventure game.
Here's where we're at. Josh is campaigning for Metro 2033. I'm campaigning for Max Payne 3. Somebody else wants Spec Ops: The Line. And we're talking about KOTOR is already off the table. It's broken technologically for us.
But it would be so cool if it worked. So if anyone knows how to make it work, let us know, because I think that would be a pretty decent season. I think.
I think Josh should just install Windows 95 on his computer. That would fix all of this.
Yeah. Oh, it'll run way better on Windows 95, Shamus. Yep. 2003 games totally run well on Windows 95.
All right, Windows XP.